We had some quarterback performances that we want your take on. None bigger, though, than the Atlanta Falcons, your former team, and Kirk Cousins. The expectations through the roof after everything this offseason that we saw, transforming that roster down there in Atlanta. But Kirk Cousins failed to meet those expectations in week one. He goes 16-26, 159 yards, 155 yards, one touchdown, but 2 picks. Didn't quite look 100% Kirk. You saw him gritting his teeth.
He's wincing right there on the throw.
Yeah, some rough throws on tape. What did you think of his debut performance?
Yeah, I mean, I thought not only him, but I thought the entire offense looked out of sync, and that's partially due to the fact these guys didn't play much in the preseason, and I know that's kind of the way everybody has gone in the NFL, right? There's this idea that it's not worth the risk of playing guys, getting somebody injured in the preseason. But it wasn't just Atlanta. I think you look across the league. I thought offenses were pretty sloppy yesterday. In Atlanta, the problem is they're going against Pittsburgh's defense week one. You've got a first-time play caller in Zach Robinson. I think kind of getting a feel for the talent that's around him, understanding what the offensive line is doing. That offensive line, to me, is best when they're running the football, right? When they're effective running the football. They can get into that play-action pass game, which they didn't do much of yesterday. So, the inability to establish the run, I think, kind of set things out of rhythm for them and put them in a spot that they didn't want to be. And then, quite frankly, I think they all looked a little bit rusty. But it's early. I know everybody wants to kind of overreact and panic about, performances in week one. There's 16 more games to go. And I still believe this team has enough talent and enough good players on it, enough good coaches on that staff to get it turned around. But certainly not the performance Kirk or the Atlanta Falcons were looking for in that first debut.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great point, Matt, talking about that offensive line. And me and Mike, we did our morning version of Pushing the Pile earlier, and you were so masterfully talking about some of the scouting reports on these guys up front for the Falcons. They're a team that's built to go smash face, run the football, get that line of scrimmage dominance, and then next thing you know, downtown Julie Brown. So I think for Kirk Cousins, it's going to be, we have to lean on this running game. You think about Lindstrom, you think about Dahlman and the guys up front who are really looking to play some bully ball. When they're back there protecting the whole time, it doesn't bode well for Kirk Cousins. It doesn't bode well for the 100%. Falcons.
Kyle, you know it too, man. If you're playing against a defensive line like that, and they know you're going to drop back, right? You got no chance. I don't care who is up front, right? You're behind the 8 ball. It becomes difficult to do that. They need to run the football, and I'm sure that they're in there today looking at the film, trying to establish ways to run the football this week. Doesn't get much easier, right? They go play Monday night. They've got the Eagles coming up. The beginning of their schedule is brutal, and so it's going to be rough in Atlanta if they don't figure out how to run the football.
Yeah, the most head-scratching thing to me was, they didn't run the ball great, but they did run it a good number of times. And the weird thing was, Zach Robinson, new OC, man used to work at PFF with me. We used to heart play action all the time. He was there in your MVP season when you put up one of the greatest play action seasons statistically of all time. And we would talk about how important that is. They ran one play action pass the entire game. To me, I know Zach Robinson is smarter than that to utilize the play action pass. To me, that says that Kirk isn't healthy. It is the biggest my takeaway from that, because with what they were doing offensively, if he was completely healthy, you would have had some play action shots off of that, especially with what the talent they have as a wide receiver position with guys like Darnell Mooney who can scoot down the football field. I don't know. That's just, I think that has to change going forward, if anything.
Well, I mean, I think about it from the player's perspective. Even if you're 100% healthy, coming off of it mentally, you're not like you're not 100% of the way there. And I think, getting through that first game, probably for Kirk coming off that injury, and then kind of seeing where he feels today, tomorrow, kind of getting through that rehab. I think just getting out there and starting to get through it is going to be beneficial for him. And I hope, as a kind of supporter of the Falcons, you hope that they get it rolling here.
Yeah, Matt makes a really great point about how is Kirk going to feel today? How's Kirk going to feel tomorrow and leading into the Wednesday practice? And obviously, a lot of questions about Kirk's lower body and the health there, but you don't know how you're going to feel until you go play a football game. He was able to do that, obviously healthy enough to be on the field, but it's what Matt's talking about. Are they going to be able to build some of that stuff into next week's game plan when they go to play against the Eagles? I think they do run the ball more against the Eagles.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much.
I think the last thing on this too, guys, is like, this is a veteran player. And so unlike some of the guys we might talk about later on, he's got this database of having played well and rebounded from adversity. And there's my thumbs up on there. My computer's, figuring it out. I don't know if that came up on the screen, but he's got this database of playing well, knows how to rebound from these type of things. So I think he gets it, going in the right direction. I'm not overly concerned here.